Do it, Ozzy.
All right, fine. I'll do it. The views and opinions of Ozzy V are for entertainment purposes only and do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Flesh Wound Features, Flesh Wound Horror, or any of their respective affiliates and podcasters. I can't believe you're not making Dan do this. Are you... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me as always on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler, Greg Larson. How you doing today, Greg?
Man, life's good. Things great. Got to watch a great movie today. How about yourself, Ozzy?
Well, I was forced to do something I wasn't anticipating, but I'm okay now. I'm better now.
Good.
I'm better.
Good.
And also with us, Flesh Wound producer Todd, who's the Nazi that made me read that.
And next week we're watching Private School 2.
No!
If only it existed.
This is a nightmare. That would be a nightmare. That's how I know if this simulation were to have like nightmare program, like someone could just right click on my body and initiate nightmare, it would be needing to review Private School 2. Except it would be done in a nursing or elderly ladies' home.
So you'd rather watch Van Wilder?
Why do you do this to me?
Yeah, I think we need to do a monthly movie Ozzy doesn't want to watch.
Oh, we did that already with Private School, so that another one will be coming up soon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this week we did review a fan favorite on a favorite of mine, Office Space by Mike Judge, released on February 19th, 1999, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 29 minutes, written and directed by Mike Judge. Todd, if you would be so kind to play us the trailer.
Yes, I will.
From Mike Judge, creator of Beavis and Butthead and co-creator of King of the Hill, comes a movie about people who go to work. Who are part of a team.
And remember, next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day.
Okay, but I could set the building on fire.
Who respect their boss.
We need to talk about your flair.
Well, I have 15 pieces on.
15 is the minimum. Brian, for example, has 37 pieces of flair on today. And a terrific smile.
And need to escape.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
One of these days, I just kick this piece of...
I'm thinking now it might be more fun to just get fired. And I've always wondered what that would take.
Oh, Peter, listen.
Well, it looks like you've been missing quite a bit of work lately.
Well, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
That's just a straight shooter with upper management written all over him.
We're going to be getting rid of these people here. Mr. Samir, okay. Not going to work here anymore anyway.
You haven't been showing up and you get to keep your job.
Actually, I'm being promoted.
Thank you, Bob.
This is a suck.
They're gonna throw you out on the street so that Bill Lumberg's stock will go up. Ooh, it's completely unfair. Initech deserves to go down.
We're just the guys to do it. Tell me about that virus you're always talking about. The one that could rip off the company for a bunch of money.
I'm not going to do anything illegal, Peter.
Illegal? Samir, this is America. The worst they're gonna do is they put you in a white-collar minimum security resort for a couple of months. You know they have conjugal visits there?
I might be showing her my O face.
Oh.
They let you have sex with women?
They sure do.
Okay, I'll do it.
Office Space.
I know you've been getting pretty depressed about your job and everything, and so I just wanted to tell you, good things can happen in this world. I mean, look at me.
Oh man. You know, this is definitely one of those films I need to regularly watch once a month, I feel. Because even the trailer, after watching the trailer, I want to watch it again. Also starring Ron, well, actually, I never even mentioned who it is starring. It did mention it is written and directed by Mike Judge, starring Ron Livingston, Jennifer Aniston, David Herman, AJ Nadu as Samir, who is my favorite, actually, of the entire cast. I'll get into that momentarily. You also have Gary Cole as the infamous Bill Lumbergh, and Stephen Root gaining notoriety after playing Milton. Oh man, initial thoughts. When I first saw it, I enjoyed it, but man, it gets funnier the more experience you have. Holy cow. Just and I wanted to just quickly, before I give you guys the opportunity for initial thoughts, the small attention to detail was so brilliant is in the opening, one of the opening scenes where you see the main character, Ron Livingston, Peter, looks at his watch, and he just notices everything's just terrible, and it's 9:13, and you could see on the watch it says Monday, and it's just that extra like, okay, yeah, it's 9 a.m., but it's Monday. And then, of course, the infamous line, somebody's got a case on the Mondays. Just, I've never been on the other end of that. And after being on the other end of that, it's like, Greg, initial thoughts.
You know, you mentioned the more experience, the more fun this movie gets. It's a fine line between the movie gets more fun or more agitating, because you're like, this isn't a comedy. This is real life, and I don't want to be a part of it. But so this movie's always fun to get back into. It is one that I don't watch a lot of movies multiple times, but it is one I can definitely watch over and over. So yeah, it was fun to go back.
Todd,
how many pieces of flair, Ozzy?
15.
37.
What the hell? Oh, he had 37 pieces of flair on?
Yes.
Oh God, what a jerk.
Yeah, this is one I liked it initially. It still holds up. It's a fun movie. I've only worked in like an office setting for like a month, but that was enough.
Okay, so I just want to jump into my couple of my favorite lines that made me kind of just exhale all the oxygen from my lungs and left me somewhat paralyzed were each of the scenes, first featuring Samir. First, him in traffic, and the other was him being angry with the paper jam. I feel the most kinship with this character. Greg, I don't think this has happened, but Todd, I know I've been on the phone with you when I'm driving, and somebody will make a stupid decision, and I'm like a Samir, except when I saw Samir, I thought he could be a little more angry. I mean, that was my only thing, but I still enjoyed it because, yes, Greg.
Sorry, I wouldn't say that I've been there on the phone while it's happened, but I do know I've received a phone call after you've gotten home to be like, you wouldn't believe these people. So, yeah, no, I can see your kinship for sure.
Yep. That's got to be mine. Or the first times you see Samir, I lose it from the beginning. So maybe that's bias on my part, but I gotta say that's what it is for me. Greg, how about you?
So it's not even a line. It's just so this movie to me isn't as much a comedy as it is therapy, and it's just all the things that you're like, oh, I wish I could do some of these things. There's a moment where Peter walks past Bill, like he's like standing. It was in the trailer there, and he's like standing in the doorway, and he's walking towards him. He's like, "Hey," and he just walks right past him, not even caring. I was like, "Oh, McManigal!" I thought that so many times. Dear sweet Jesus!
Oh my gosh, I'm in pain. I'm in a lot of abdominal pain right now. And tears. My eyes are wet. Todd.
All right. Come on. You know what my favorite bit is. You have to.
I'll let you say it.
All right. Well, that would, of course, be the plan itself. From what movie, Ozzy?
Oh, damn it. I was hoping he wasn't going to notice it. I just finished watching Office Space. Yada, yada, yada. Really fun. On the messenger there. And I was like, oh, sweet. Hopefully he didn't notice.
Oh, no. You know I was saving it. Because Michael Bolton has the line of the movie.
Yeah, but okay.
Superman 3. Underrated movie.
No. Okay. Says the guy who only worked 1 month in an office, of course, would be saying that's the line of the movie.
I will put something else over because they use a lot of deep cut gangster rap songs from the era. A couple Ghetto Boys one. Most notably, the one most people know is "Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster," which they use in the virus scene. Also, Down for Whatever. No, Down for Whatever is used in the virus scene. Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster is earlier. But either way,
when he first walks into the office after the first time after being hypnotized.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. That's Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster. I just love the fact that they were deep cuts and they actually became popular after the movie. I remember hearing them coming out of other cars, so it was actually cool.
And that one rap song, I don't know the song, but when he was sitting there in traffic and he's like rapping hardcore to it, then the guy walks by, he's like, "I'll turn it down."
Yes, that's hilarious. That was one of the Ghetto Boys songs, but yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Initially, when I remember first seeing this movie, if like I had to travel through time in my head and revisit myself leaving the theater after watching this movie, I would tell you, oh yeah, I'd say like 3.5. But man, after everything that I've been through, at least for me, it's a 5, just out of the fun factor alone. And I even forgot to mention the whole pieces of flair thing. I can't believe I didn't touch on this earlier, because when I was watching, the Chachki's manager, which by the way played by Mike Judge, telling Jennifer Aniston's character, I can't remember her name at the moment, but anyway, you only have 15 pieces of flair, and that's the minimum. It's like, well, do you want to be known as, just doing the minimum, and just kind of like, not everybody's treating this like a career, dude. There's a lot of people that just here to get the check and do their own thing. And I just thought that was a good like jab in the way that it was done. Yeah, I'll express myself. Line by her was fantastic. So in terms of fun factor, I'd have to give it a 5, but it's a pretty basic script, plot, whatever, like, whatever. But it's the small things that make it whole as an ensemble comedy.
For sure. So that feeling, like the 15 minimum, oh, do you only want to do that? It also feels like that same situation of like when all the bosses, 8 different bosses come and say the same stupid thing about a pointless cover sheet,
TBS report cover sheet, right?
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's just like, oh God, it is like the least important thing, but for you to feel so good about yourself, this is the hill you die on, management.
I just have to say Max Sun Plaza. When are we going to have Max Sun Plaza, Ozzy? That's really important. We have Max and Sun Plaza. That's all I got to say. I just had to let that out. I had to let that out. Sorry. I apologize.
Sorry.
We have a disclaimer at the beginning, so everybody relax.
Yeah. We have a lot of Disney frustrations, folks. So, but
and when I do something wrong, I have 8 different people telling me.
Oh God!
Into something. And sorry, I don't have the Triton Garden shirt. Hey, where's the Triton Garden shirt? They didn't have my size. The mid lead. Where's your Triton Garden shirt? They didn't have my size. The PM lead. Where's your Triton Garden shirt? They didn't have my size. Character 1 that day. Where's the Triton Garden? They didn't have my size. Character 10. Where's your Triton Garden shirt? Janae, they don't have my size.
Other hosts that day.
Other hosts. Hey, why don't you have the Triton Garden shirt? Because Chris, the one guy who ordered the big one, didn't even get the big one because you took the big one and it looks saggy on you. You're lucky you got the baggy Triton Garden shirt.
Well,
nobody's watching this or listening to this anyway that worked at Disney at the time, so it's not like it's gonna matter.
That's true. Yeah. So I agree with you. The movie itself, it's all right. You know, I'd give it a 4 as a movie, but for the catharsis alone, it's got to be a 5, man. Like, I feel like that guy after that first therapy session, which I really think is just like someone getting high. Like, I think it was just that moment of the first time someone smoked a bowl and was like, you know what? Not it. So, yeah, no, 5 for this movie.
Todd?
Well,
no, I understand, because if you have not had that experience, it's not going to hit well.
Well, it still hit
or
pretty
as
well.
It's not going to hit as well, I should say.
One thing I didn't mention earlier, Lawrence, the neighbor, Diedrich Bader, had me dying this time, where before I just thought he was kind of dumb, but this time I was rolling with everything he did and said.
Has anyone ever told you? Sounds like somebody's got a case of the money. No. Shit, no, man. That could get your ass kicked for saying something like that. It just sounded so natural. I was curious if that line was improvised.
And then the whole Lumberg fucking thing was hysterical too. I'm a 4.5. I'm just under. I was going back and forth, but
I also think that's indicative of something. Somebody at an advanced age, however, without the office experience, still enjoyed it to a degree of it being a 4.5. So I think that's Greg and I having our own experiences at various places. Todd not having those experiences, but we still enjoyed it in the same vicinity.
There's a reason I only lasted so long as I did. I was like, nah, no.
Oh, I understand.
I was a little more like Pam and on The Office because I answered phones, but that was a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I spent 4 hours working as a telemarketer. I spent 1 4-hour shift, and then I came home and I called the dude. I was like, I don't think this is the right fit for me. Because usually it's the other way around. Usually they pull you in an office and say, listen, we appreciate you coming in. We just don't think this is a right fit. That's exactly what I pulled on the boss, and he was so shocked. He's like, well, I have nothing to say. If you don't feel it's a good fit, I can't really argue with you. Yeah, I kind of got you in checkmate, don't I? Oh, man. Anyhow, that was Office Space. Unfortunately, not available right now on any of the major streaming services. However, is available for purchase digital wherever you can find it. Highly recommend getting a version to be able to download. In the emergency that you don't have any Wi-Fi or whatever situation, this would be one of the movies, like I said, just under an hour and a half. So it just hits that mark where you could just go here for a second, enjoy, and then get back to whatever you're doing. So highly recommended. Next week, we're going to be back with a new episode. Now, it's going to be kind of confusing because last week we did Necessary Roughness, celebrating the opening of the college football season, going into the football season. Next week, we're going to be reviewing Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which features the Miami Dolphins. Now, we would have done that this week because this Thursday is the season opener for the NFL season, 2021 season, rather. However, when we started this series of Flesh Wound Farce, I wanted to do Office Space on Labor Day. So here we are. And now that episode has concluded, we will be back next week by reviewing the aforementioned Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, starring Jim Carrey. I believe this is going to be the first film starring Jim Carrey that we've reviewed on this show. So looking forward to that one. Once again, that's Flesh Wound producer Todd, at world famous juggler Greg. I'm Ozzy V. You guys have anything else before we head out?
Good night.
All righty. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.